Yeah, we're super deep as a group on both ends of the floor, and that's what's allowed us to get off to the start we had. We've been dealing with injuries. We haven't been healthy, not once yet, but we have guys that are ready to go, guys that understand their role, guys that understand how to affect the game at a high level, and how they can do it, and they go out there and do it every night, and that's why we haven't missed a beat.
What's up, guys? Milos here. So, the Oklahoma City Thunder have been playing at a historic level right now. Every team they face, they're having no problem just dominating, like winning by 20 points at the very least. The only three games that they had struggles with, you could say, is probably the first game against the Rockets, where it went into double overtime, and then the Indiana Pacers, where it also went into double overtime. A few weeks later, they played against the Portland Trailblazers and they lost that game by 2 points. And that's their only loss in the season. Right now, they're 12-1, and defensively, they're playing at historic levels as well. Right now, they have an 104.4 defensive rating, and that ranks number one currently in the NBA by a large margin. The defenders are just lockdown defenders. Cason Wallace, he's been playing in the starting lineup, and he's probably the best defender on this team. He's making a case to be an all defensive first team very early in this season. Every superstar perimeter player that they've faced on the opposing team, he's been guarding them. He's been taking that challenge and he's been basically locking them up, to be honest with you. Dort hasn't been playing a lot of games. He only played 5 games, so he's out. But once they get him back, he's going to be a great addition defensively for this team. There's no slouches anywhere defensively, especially on the perimeter. You have SGA, who is the best scorer on this team, but defensively, he's a great addition. He's not easy to get around when he's playing defense. Another guy, Alex Caruso, a utility guy who's always playing defense, always doing the little things. And then Chet and Hartenstein, the two bigs, they play defense well in the interior. Right now, this team is number one on defense, like I mentioned before. This team doesn't let other teams get shots in the paint. They don't let them get shots up at all. Right now, they're holding teams to 48% in the paint, which is number one in this league right now. They're pretty good offensively as well. They rank number 5. But the biggest reason why I would say they are doing so well offensively is obviously SGA, but AJ Mitchell has been one of the biggest surprises of this season. He's averaging 17, 4, and 4, and it's just another guard that can create offense for himself and for other players on this team. The biggest question with this team was, can they play well without Shea? And they can a little bit, but I think offensively they had at times they struggled with, producing any sort of offense. AJ Mitchell is another guard that allows that to happen. The scary thing about this team right now is they're 12-1 and they're without their second best player, J Dub. J Dub is a former All NBA player, a former first team All Defensive player, or no, I don't know if he's first team, but I know he's a defensive player. He's on the defensive team. And he's a former All NBA player, a third team All NBA. So when you get this guy back, you instantly just become better. There's a lot of guys that are just stepping up in his absence. Isaiah Joe, he's averaging 16 points, 40% from the three-point line, just a knockdown shooter. Aaron Wiggins is also another knockdown shooter coming off the bench, averaging 40% from 3, 15 points. Dort, again, like how I mentioned before, when he comes back for this team, defensively, they're only going to be better, which is crazy to say because they're the best defensive team in the league and probably one of the best defensive teams in NBA history. Actually, not even probably. They are one of the best teams defensively in NBA when you look at the numbers. Now, Hartenstein as well is providing a lot of good minutes for this team, averaging 13 points and 11 rebounds. Chet Holmgren, he's improved a lot from last season in terms of knocking down the mid-range shot. He's become pretty efficient at that shot, and he's shooting 60% just in general from the field goal range, and he's averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds. And once he gets a consistent flow of playing games, because he's missed some games too, once he becomes consistent throughout the season, he's going to be a scary third option for this team. We can't say enough about, or I can't say enough about SGA. SGA is averaging 32.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 6.6 assists. And I think he's improved as a playmaker for this team immensely. He's seen a lot of schemes that are being thrown at him, and I think he's just been able to adapt. And since he's had that experience of seeing schemes trying to stop him or double him, he's improved as a playmaker and making quick decisions, is what I'm seeing on the court from him. He's doing well at being a better passer than he was last season. The efficiency level of his shooting is just great as well. With the amount of points he gets per game and the amount of shots he shoots per game, he's averaging 52% from the field goal, 35% from the three, 90% from the free throw. So he's efficient on all 3 levels of scoring. I think we have to put him in the conversation of being one of the best offensive players of all time. There's a lot of great offensive players, and he's putting himself in that category of being one of the best offensive players we've ever seen. And to me right now, this team is one of the best teams I've ever seen as a collective. Like, there's a lot of different teams in this modern era that were good. One that especially comes to mind, and I'm sure that comes to mind to you if you're just keeping up with the NBA history like me, I should say, is Golden State Warriors, the 2016-17 ones, to be more specific. That team was probably the greatest team ever in the modern era, and probably an argument to be the greatest team of all time in terms of the collection of talent. Having KD, Steph, Clay all on one team was just absolutely crazy, and they were dominant in the NBA. This team right now has the potential to be even better than that team. I don't think it's because they're as top heavy as that team, but in terms of looking through their whole roster, there's no weak points. Like, every player that they have on this team is solid. Like, they have a deep, deep roster. Yeah, this team, again, is just looking really scary. I don't know if I have much to say about that. A lot of teams are going to have problems trying to stop this team. When it comes to the regular season, one, obviously already with the hot start they've been on, but when it goes deep in the postseason, because I don't really know what team you can put in front of them that's going to beat this Thunder team. I think the only team that presents some sort of challenge is probably the Denver Nuggets, and just because they have Jokic and great solid role players, or I wouldn't even say role players, like stars on the team as well. Aaron Gordon has been playing amazing. Jamal Murray has been showing he can be like an all-star maybe this season. The only person that hasn't played well is probably Cam Johnson, but I think he's still trying to figure out the rhythm of this team and how he can play well. That team, again, like how I mentioned before, is probably the only one that I see that presents some sort of challenge on stopping this OKC Thunder. OKC is just running through teams, and they don't even have their second best player on this team, and they've been dealing with a whole bunch of injuries throughout the whole roster. But once they have this roster completely together and complete, and they run some games, just watch out. I don't think any teams are beating them. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Again, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead, subscribe, like the video. We drop new videos about the NBA it's looking like almost every day, but at the very least, we're trying to do every week. Especially with this season going on, I'm watching the games every night, so I'm paying attention to what's happening in the league. So again, subscribe, like the video, share your thoughts, and until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later. Milos out. Peace.